From being a perfectionist, I really learned that it's better just to be imperfected. From being a perfectionist my whole life, I truly understand that it's more beneficial for me to just be consistent and perfectly. I saw this post on Instagram about striving for perfectionism, but if one little thing didn't operate in the way that you would intend for it to be, it would cause you to throw away everything else. So in my life, I'm so disciplined. Wake up early, home workout, go to the gym, come home, shower, go to work. 9 hours later, come back from work, decompress, go to sleep, right? But if something didn't go right, let's say I woke up late and I didn't work out, I would be like, dang, I'm not even going to go to the gym. I'm going to skip this whole day because I didn't get to the gym at a certain time. But I realized that it's beneficial to not only, there'll be moments where you can't just do everything you want, but in those moments you have to do what you can, and give yourself grace. If I woke up late, I can still make it to the gym. Maybe I won't work out. Maybe all I can do is run, Maybe I can't run. Maybe all I can do is do a couple sets, a couple reps. I was in the gym this morning. I only had an hour to work out. Have to be at work a little earlier. I had this idea to make this video, so I sacrificed and put time aside for that, right? I didn't have enough time to do everything that I wanted to do, but I still did some. I still did something. And it's better to do something than nothing. A lot of people may not be able to relate to this because they're simply not a perfectionist. People simply aren't disciplined. Some people feel content with just going into the gym and half-assing. But me, no. I'm the type that if I had a workout that wasn't that good, I'm going back later on my lunch break, sacrificing food to go get it in so I can feel satisfied. A lot of times we risk our lives and we push ourselves so hard simply just for the feeling. But I've grown to understand that it's better to be consistent and perfectly rather than just be a perfectionist and beat yourself up when perfection isn't measured in the way that you want it to be measured at, So if you come across this video, I'm gonna cut this video shortly, but the long form version will be on my YouTube. Put the link right there, the screenshot right there. But what I'm also talking about is it's important for us to understand that you're not always going to have it your way. You're not always going to be able to do everything that you want to do day in and day out. And there are going to be some days where you have to forgive yourself. Some days you have to just give it up to God, right? You have to understand that we're not here to simply just be the orchestrator of our own lives. There's certain things that God allows us to do. I can wake up, I can brush my teeth, I cannot. I could drink the juice, I cannot. I can shower and wash, or I can skip and be dirty. That's our free will, right? But in terms of us trying to create plans for our life and I'm going to do this at a certain time, and then after that, I'm going to do this at the next time, God always has a funny way of redirecting it in the way that he wants us to go, because at the end of the day, God is the ultimate artist, Kanye West, currently known as Ye, says that we are God's iPhone, his greatest design, his magnum opus. I wonder what my magnum opus is, right? But I've grown to understand that we're not simply here to just be perfect in this world. Yes, we can be perfect in the laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of our abilities. But this world, the more plans that we design, the more we're just going to get humbled in the end, I came across that Instagram post and it really inspired this entire video, It's so important that we live true to understanding that you don't always have to feel accomplished just because you did something in a way that you thought was perfect, right? Because in those moments where you can't do everything that you want, Just understand that it's also beneficial to do what you can, right? Understand that and take that in, Always do what you can. Do the most with what you got. Use what God gave you, right? Don't take this life for granted. You feel me?